Tell them about, Johnny has this, at the Hall of Fame.
You'll be telling it.
Right. At the Hall of Fame, we, new inductees, he has a tradition for all of the new inductees that come into the Hall of Fame. Tell them about that and why you do what you do with the new inductees.
Well, at the Hall of Fame, what you're totally involved in is the family, your guests, all your friends that want to come to Cooperstown. All you do is you go from event to event to event, take care of their rooms, take care of their stuff. And, you've been to the induction. And when we come back, we take a team picture out on the lawn next to Lake Oswego. And I take each individual. I did them at 4, all or 3, how many of there were, and I'd make them sit in the rocking chairs. There's some great, if you've never been to the Osaka Hotel, there's rocking chairs sitting on this big balcony, goes from that wall to that wall almost. And there's rocking chairs. And I take each individual and I said, sit down. I want you to think about what you've accomplished. Because all this time you've been running around with everybody taking care of themselves. But think just for a minute, and it only takes you a minute, just to sit there and think, I'm in the Hall of Fame. And they all, you can just see them just sort of relax and reflect. And it's just a tradition that I've carried on. And now I've got guys that say, I'll get them and make sure, because you can't get all 4 because they're all taking pictures and stuff. But I want them to think about the greatness of what you've accomplished, what I've accomplished. And realize that so many people wanted parts of you and everything else, but now it was your moment. And then we go in and have dinner, and then they present you with the ring and the little plaque. And it's a very moving moment for me, and for them, it's become a nice tradition for me to do this, but I think for themselves, it's kind of a nice reflective moment that says, wow, I'm in the Hall of Fame. It's just...
I had the pleasure of doing that, and I want to thank you for allowing me to do that. Now, if it is true that you're the greatest catcher of all time, who would you put as number 2? I am not trying to put you on the spot.
No, not at all. Well, I was last century. Let's just say I was the greatest catcher last century. Yeah. Last century, yeah. And there'll be a new century, and somebody will do it, and whatever, and all this stuff and everything else. There was always Campanella. There was always Berra. There was Bill Dickey. A guy that nobody really gave a lot of credit to was Carlton Fisk. And he, for 22 years or whatever it was, he caught. For some guys and they want to say, where are all the great catchers today? And I said they're still there, but until you bat 4th and drive in 100 runs, which we saw Salvador Perez do. Salvador Perez is the best catcher, period. I mean, it's just unbelievable. He's decided to hit 48 home runs this year. And Yachty is for an entire career. It's like they asked me about young catchers, and I said, well, ask me in 7 years. I mean, these people have been spoiled. I mean, they're going to, somebody's going to try to come in and take his place, and it's never going to be the same. It's not going to be, because Yachty commanded the game, called games, and you can always tell how he can get a pitcher the most out of the pitcher, because a catcher has 4 ways of having a great game. First of all, he's cost to call a great game because he's got to get a win for that pitcher. That was the most important thing. Second, you throw out runners. Third, you block on plate. Now they don't have that anymore. And then fourth, you have to hit. So trying to be able, all of those things was something that my job was to get him a win. And when you have pitchers with decent, that quality stuff, you call a good game and you can get a team a win, or at least a chance for a win.